You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. It is Wednesday, July 3rd, the day before 4th of July, of course. And so we're going to kick off this long weekend. Hopefully it's a long weekend for most of you. I took Friday off, so for me it's a long weekend. But yeah, we're going to kick it off with a great show today. It's Wacky Wednesday. Joining me, as always, on a Wednesday is my wacky co-host, Coach Desi. Desi, how you doing today?
What's up, guys? So sorry. I was with one last patient and we got into some conversation. So I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do this. I'm so excited.
She's locked in. So, Desi, like I kind of been dying to hear your reaction of, the pivot interview with Brandon Aiyuk. Obviously, like I've spoken about it a couple of times since it's come out, but I haven't gotten your thoughts. So I just want to, I guess, get a feel of your temperature check here of your optimism level. Are you feeling more optimistic, less optimistic, or did the pivot interview like not change anything at all for you?
So it's just an up and down roller coaster, right? So this week I'm going to go with, I'm feeling fine. I feel like this is going to get done. Like this, I kind of had this with Deebo too, right? Like up and down, like the logical side of me was like, they're literally not going to let Deebo go. So like the logical side of me is like, they're not going to let Brandon Aiyuk walk. But, sometimes the other side of me is like, I mean, they might, so I tried actually to avoid the pivot interview for as long as I could, because I was like, if I listen to this in a fragile state, it's going to not be good. Like, I just knew it was not going to be good. And so I'm glad I caught it on a day when I was like, okay, I'm prepared to listen to this. And then I was able to like listen to it more objectively. And it was like, he really isn't telling us anything that we didn't already know and suspect. One thing that I know you guys are going to love with me, for me to talk about was I grabbed on to the part where they were talking about how, I guess, like, they asked him how did a guy like you end up at a JUCO, right out of high school? And he was kind of like, oh, I wasn't locked in high school. And, and they were like, your parents, like, and as soon as they talk about parents, I love Mama Aiyuk, shout out to Mama Aiyuk. And I'm just like, I'm a boy mom too. So part of me was like, oh, here it comes. Like, he's going to go home and his mom's going to be like, I listened to that interview. And yeah, I told you should have locked in high school. Like like I could just hear it in my head. Like, I've got a kid who just graduated high school. And so it's just like that mom side of me came out listening to that. So
I'm sure she's gotten them with I was right, sometime before that. So yeah, but I'm sure Mama Aiyuk got on him back then about that. But I mean, now he's where he's at, and it's not that bad of a spot to be in, if we're being honest. So yeah, I mean, I think I don't think it really changed anything for me personally. I think, though, what I am feeling is that I'm getting the sense that it could be more likely that Brandon Aiyuk plays on the 5th-year option. Like, that feels like a realer possibility than it did, like, even maybe just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, which isn't bad. Like, that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean he's not going to get extended. Like, that is not what that automatically means. But, obviously it's not the extension yet.
Does it though? Because there's somebody else who's getting a contract next year. So if you wait, like we've already waited long enough for a $30 million wide receiver contract to come down the pike that we're competing with, like that's the whole situation now. Like if we wait another year, what is that market going to look like on top of having to pay our stud quarterback, right? So like that, I got a little heartburn right now just thinking about that. I kind of think we do need to do the deal this year. And the part that turned my stomach in the interview was the part where they talked about the leak from the Niners camp and how that felt to him, that hurt my heart. That hurt my heart. And I tried to find a way to like defend the organization. I really couldn't, but
I mean, yeah, that confirmed, I think, a lot of assumptions that we've had about how the 49ers kind of go about these negotiations. And I've joked about it a couple times now. I'm going to say it again. I think Parag Marathi is like a grade A procrastinator, and maybe he just likes to wait till these deals are getting to the 11th hour. It's like crunch time right before training camp. Let's bang this out right now kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's just
it's August 8th. August 8th, Steph. It's on the calendar. I got it marked in circles. August 8th.
You said August 8th. I think I said like July 19th or something.
Yeah.
If I remember.
I would love for it to be your date. I don't mind to wear the
right.
Then at least half my summer is not in the toilet, but it is what
exactly. It is. Well, we'll continue to get updates on this Brandon Aiyuk thing, and like you said, I like what you said, that it kind of goes in waves, like our feeling about this, our optimism about this. But at the end of the day, I do think something gets done eventually. So we'll just wait and see when that is, and we'll continue to have updates as we have been this entire off season. But we do have an update regarding of the former 49er who is a free agent out there in the world, Tashawn Gibson. He was suspended for the use of performance-enhancing substances. He's suspended 6 games. Now, this, I know, like, maybe what some of you are thinking, that, hey, he was a free agent. He's not with the 49ers anymore. Like, why is this a big deal? Personally, the reason that I kind of think this is notable for current 49ers fans is that I was kind of hoping and thinking that the 49ers would look to sign a veteran before training camp, a veteran safety, I should say. And I think Tashawn Gibson obviously was just kind of waiting in the wings there. He was going to be available for them to sign anytime they needed him. And now that's definitely not available to them. So did you kind of get that same sense, though, Desi, that like the 49ers would have brought Gibson back, especially if Hufunga's not ready at the start of the season?
Absolutely. I mean, you might as well have that in your back pocket for sure, because, like we said before, we're not sure if Huff is going to be, ready to go on day one of the season. And so it would be nice to have somebody, who's already got the experience with the team, already knows the system, that can, the old system. We'll see what gets plugged in for this season. But, definitely it's a veteran guy for our 49ers that would definitely be a benefit. So now that's just sucks the wind out of the sails there for sure.
Yeah. So now, as it stands right now, you have Hufanga, who, as we're saying, might not be ready for week 1. I know he's aiming for that, but, there's the chance that even if he's like cleared medically, like he might not be that same guy. That's a liability. That's a risk, right, for the 49ers to go into week 1 with Hufanga out there. And you have Tig, you have Jair Brown, and then you also have the rookie who can play as well. You have George Odom. I guess they can go into week 1 with George Odom, but again, I just feel like I would like a veteran. I feel like the 49ers should want a veteran. I'm just kind of projecting that desire that I have onto them, that yes, they should definitely want this. And so the thought has come up several times in the offseason, and it's kind of come up again, of Justin Simmons, former Broncos safety. He is still a free agent, by the way. And Albert Breer, on his recent mailbag for Sports Illustrated, he said, quote, "I love the idea of Justin Simmons in either the Vic Fangio style of defense he's played in for the Broncos since 2019 or in a Seattle Seahawks type of defense. That's why I'd really love to see him as a center fielder in the Niners defense, which has historically played the Seattle 3 scheme, and also just brought aboard Brandon Staley, whom Simmons knows well from the Fangio tree," end quote. So, I mean, obviously there's some some connections there schematically with Justin Simmons and the 49ers. But you also have to wonder, like, why he's still available, I guess. Like, I mean, if the 49ers did want him, like, why wouldn't they have signed him already? But then again, all the other teams haven't signed him either. So maybe Justin Simmons is waiting until camp starts to sign for a team. He's, I believe, yeah, he's 30 years old. So, that's a common thing for veterans to kind of just wait and say, don't sign me yet. I'm kind of chilling right now. And avoid the OTAs part of the offseason, the voluntary stuff, and just come on board, sign with the team for training camp. So, yeah, maybe that's what he's holding out on. Maybe that's what the 49ers are kind of waiting on. I don't know, but certainly he seems like an option should the 49ers want to sign a veteran safety before camp.
Maybe the Niners were like, we'll pick up Gip. And now they're like, oh.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you got to look at a plan B.
Yeah. And the thing that sucks is these performance enhancing drug stuff. Like, I just kind of want to know. Maybe I shouldn't know. I probably shouldn't know, guys, because if it was something stupid, I'm just going to get like really irritated at the fact that like this whole plan is now blown because of some nonsensical stuff. But I'm going to put in the comments the NFL's the drug policy in case anybody wants to take a peek at that. Fun fact, there's a course that I took once at a conference that talked about like your vitamins and supplements are not under the FDA, right? There's no regulatory body for supplements and vitamins and all these things. So there's nobody that can regulate. And we had this course that was talking about how important it is as providers to ask about what supplements our patients take, everything that they take, because there are companies that will third-party test. So they'll test supplements to verify that what that company claims is in the product is actually in there. So if you guys are out there in the world taking supplements, things like that, you have student athletes, you want to make sure it's third-party verified, that what they're taking actually is what's listed in the ingredients. Because it tripped me out at this conference. They were talking about how these third-party companies have found actual traces of street drugs and prescription drugs in supplements. So as an athlete, even as a human, just be careful of what you put in your body. I always tell patients, and I tell my family members and friends, take things that are third-party verified. If you have an athlete, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency endorses the NSF certified products. And I can put that link into the chat as well, just so that you guys have that, because it's sometimes a little tricky to try to find. The NSF also has an app too, where they actually have a list of supplements and stuff that are actually third-party tested and cleared. So just a little FYI.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good to know, because, like, I mean, obviously, I've seen a lot of instances in which players do get suspended for this, and you always see the players saying like, "Oh, like I had no idea about this," and you think to yourself like, "That's a crock of shit." Like, but I mean, yes, to your point, like it could happen because what they're taking unsuspectingly, like, has some of these banned substances in them. So,
well, and sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's they didn't show up for a test, or they didn't talk, there's like stringent things that they have to, like, that's in there. Trying to think of here it is. So he might have just missed a testing. He might have not reported like what he was doing, or so sometimes it's beyond that too. So anyway, it's looking like, I don't know, did it show up? It looks like it's not going through.
Yeah, I don't see it in the chat. No.
It's like showing up grayed out. I don't know if you have something in the settings that doesn't allow me to post it. I'll send it to you in a private chat, and then you can post it if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I can also put it in the description of video after this as well. But yeah, thanks for that info, because that's something I didn't really No, I mean, obviously, like I said, I've seen players say they didn't know something was in something they were taking, but like I didn't really.
It's crazy. It really
Yeah.
is crazy, and it's hard. And so that's where, my son is 19 and he's at the age where he's like trying to do all this stuff, take all these supplements. And I'm like, he's not an athlete that he needs to be worried about that. But just, I tell him, like, please make sure it's at least third party verified, because I don't need you taking something that's got like
Yeah.
Ritalin, crazy street drugs or prescription drugs in it. So just be careful out there, guys, because some of those things too can interact with other medications that you're taking. And certainly if you have older patients that are got other medical conditions, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Mariah in the chat.
Hey,
Shout
girl,
out to
hey.
the two goats. But just going back to Justin Simmons, I mean, I saw Al Bundy in the comments say like 49ers can't afford him. Maybe so. I'm not really sure what Justin Simmons' market is. But like usually for a player to still be available this late, you could get a decent deal worked out for them that isn't, too demanding on the team and their cap. So, I guess we'll see. But maybe that's part of the reason 49ers haven't looked to Justin Simmons to this point. And also they had Sean Gibson, like I said, waiting in the wings. Now that's not an option. So maybe their eyes do kind of turn to Justin Simmons a bit. And yeah, obviously they have to get a little smart with how they fit him into the cap situation, but nothing the 49ers haven't done before. Yeah, Al Bundy is predicting 18 to 20 million per year since Winfield got 20 million and Jesse Bates got 16 million last year. I mean, I just wonder why he hasn't signed yet though. Like if he's a guy who's like top of the market and Winfield getting 20 million, I mean, if he's in that tier, why hasn't he signed yet? I don't know. Again, unless he said that he doesn't want to until camp. Who knows? I guess we'll find out and we'll wait and see on Simmons. But obviously, could see the fit. Last year with Denver, he's played his entire year with Denver. Last year at 30 years old, he made All-Pro, second team, and the Pro Bowl. So like he's still a really good player, and obviously could fill a gap for the 49ers until like Talanoa Hufanga is back. So we'll monitor that for sure. All right. Now, getting over to some, I guess, more fun topics for us is talking about Christian McCaffrey and his wedding, because we were really into this, last week. Olivia Kulpo has posted quite a bit on this wedding. It seems like the pictures are rolling in from the photographer, so she's posting them all. And I don't know if you saw this, Desi, but she had like, it looked like the wedding was exclusively like reported on by Vogue. Did you see that? They had like a whole piece on the wedding.
Oh yeah. In fact, I have Vogue Wedding Instagram's page up because girlfriend had not one, not two, but 3 Dolce & Gabbana dresses, and they were all beautiful. So I don't know if you want me to share. I can share it right now.
You can share, yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna go to her Instagram, and we're talking about the dresses. I wasn't a huge fan of either of the dresses that I had seen, so I didn't know there was a third.
There's 3, but it won't let me share. Y'all, Steph's got me locked down. She don't want me to share.
No, I swear I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Okay, but in the meantime, if the pictures that
there we go
that I pull up are any different, then
that's the third dress. So
that's the third dress. This was like the party dress, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm like, what is going on? It looks like they're like, what is? I don't know.
At first, I thought it was like a bikini, like I thought it was like swimsuit bottom, but here it's like shorts. So I mean, it's cute. I mean,
if it didn't have like this netting thing, maybe it would be different.
Know,
but yeah, a lot of
she makes anything look good though. She's cute.
Yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah, this is a better look at the dress. It's interesting. Definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is that's literally biting like the dress, but we need to investigate him because, sir, you're not the husband.
Yeah, and that's a
That's
Dolce and
weird.
Gabbana. Get your mouth off the dress.
Respect the Dolce, man.
Yes.
Okay, and obviously this picture has been circulating as well. So like this is the 49ers crew, right? With Greg Olsen, who looks disheveled as all hell. Like he looks like he's been partying 4 hours before everyone else. Like he
I
pre-gamed
think
too
he was
hard.
the head dancer. I think he was like the token white dude in the middle doing all of the like sprinkler moves and all. I think that's I'm gonna say that
But
was
look at everyone else. Like everyone looks like they just arrived kind of deal. Like they don't look like they're a few drinks in yet. And meanwhile, like Greg Olsen, man, what's going on?
Olsen looks like he got kicked to the side by Tom Brady. Did I say that?
Ah.
So there's that's the third dress. So if
That
you go
was-
where you were,
Oh wait.
that's not yeah.
This one.
See that? That's the main dress. So that was the one
This
that
was
she
the
wore
main
for her
dress. Yeah, I
actual
didn't like
nuptial.
this either, personally. But
Yeah, that was the nuptial dress. And I'm thinking, was she hot as hell? It is a summer wedding. It's
Yeah, that
gorgeous.
too.
But like, I mean, how did she not sweat in that?
That's a cute picture. That's a cute picture. I'm sure she was. I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sure she was. But the venue looked beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And look, let's not bury the lead any longer. We have to talk
do it.
about the Shanna stash. I have a picture of it. So let me just. All right. So my thing was, this is Kyle Shanahan in his villain era. All right. He just looks very official, very Godfather, with the stash and the hair slicked back, the bow tie. Like it's giving. So what did you think about the Shanna stash?
I'm
This
here for
mustache
it.
has a name, by the way.
I'm here for it. I definitely am here for it. It looks good with that ensemble. I'm not sure if it's going to look good with his 49ers hat on the sideline. Like, I don't know that I'm going to love that.
I think it would work. Like if he brings back the red Shanna hat with this look, he's looking like a hipster, like in the middle of San Francisco.
Oh.
He might like maybe he should even wear shorts on the sideline. Why not stop there, right?
I mean, if he's going to do that, he might as well have oh my goodness. Why am I blanking? He was a former 49er coach, Michigan, now is with
Harbaugh.
LA.
Harbaugh?
Harbaugh. Yeah, the Harbaugh khakis. That's what I was trying to get to. He needs to add the Harbaugh khakis and
not
the scarf too.
No.
He said the scarf too. Yes, throw a scarf up in there.
a scarf. What I do think though is that like I'm very curious what this would look like with his regular coaching attire, because this look works for the suit and the tie or the bow tie thing, like this is a look. He knew Vogue was there, but I don't know if it's really gonna go with the whole coaching attire.
I don't know. I'm just looking up the picture with the red hat. Like you need to put that up. Put the picture of his
Shanna hat.
Yeah, the Shanna hat, and then we can visualize what this stash is going to look like. I'm not here for it because he wears.
You got to remember.
He wears the hoodie with it. Like you can't rock the hoodie and a stash. Like it just, I don't know.
Well, the hoodie, you don't always have to wear a hoodie. Like it.
But that's his like
Santa Clara heat. You don't.
There you go. See?
You're not wearing a hoodie with the Shanahan. I mean, with the Santa Clara heat. Maybe if he wore it, because it's like, I mean, I literally have one of the hats right here. Maybe if he wore the hat at like more bent, someone's probably getting pissed off that I'm like bending the cap because I'm not doing it correctly.
See, I'm with Mariah. Just let it be a summer stash.
No, I like the vibes. I like the aura. Like there's something here. something magical we can hold on to that gives us a new hope for the season, just like the Shanahan did. Aura.
All right. I'm not mad at it. I'll give it a chance.
He looks like a retired skateboarder, Kenny says.
Kenny's feeling me. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know.
And then Rob says, hey, wear the tux on the sideline. Hey, that could
Oh.
be it. That could be a new look. I mean, coaches used to wear suits on the sidelines a long time ago. So let's just bring that back. Why not?
With the hat, with the Shanahan. Now that I like that.
Well, okay. No, now you're just making things up.
Wah, wah.
No, Mariah says hang on to it like handlebars. No, handlebars, that's something completely different. This was a clean stash, and not everyone can pull off a stash. So it's like clearly Kyle can. So he should lean into that. He doesn't need to do the whole handlebars thing. That's just weird. I can't see him.
That's something Kittle would do. That's a Kittle stash.
Yeah, right? It's actually kind of surprising he hasn't tried that yet, but
all right, if you're listening, George, like hook that up. We can do a whole stash theme this year.
Just a whole team with stashes.
With different stashes.
Well, like I don't know if you've seen, but Deebo's like kind of trying, a new look as well. He's growing his hair out. So, everyone's trying to get something different going. And I respect that. I respect that. By the way, Deebo been working his butt off this offseason based on all the videos I've seen. Man is working. So if let's just say hypothetically Deebo Samuel or let's just say Brandon Aiyuk has to play on his 5th year option. You have Deebo and Brandon Aiyuk playing for the next contracts. And I don't know, like Deebo's just he looks good right now, I gotta say. So
he's putting in that work for that New Jersey number. You
out
there with that number.
Yeah, exactly. If you're wearing number 1, like you gotta show out, right? So 100%. I'm not doubting Deebo this year at all, but I'm excited. Oh, by the way, last thing before we head out, this was a shorter show for us today. The Receiver show on Netflix coming out literally a week from today. All right. I was a little bit torn about watching it, or at least I told myself that I was.
What?
Because when I watched the trailer, and the trailer's on YouTube, you can find it there. I'm sure at this point you can find it on Netflix as well. When they started talking about the Super Bowl, and it's Deebo and George Kittle, and they got footage from the Super Bowl as well. Like, I'm just like, I'm just going to have to relive this pain all over again. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. And because the whole time, like when I think about the Super Bowl, like, yes, it's sad for me, but also what makes it even sadder is that I think about how much it hurt the players, how they felt about it. And now I'm going to have to see literally how they felt about it, at least Deebo and Kittle. And so I don't know if I'm ready for that, but
that was part of the
tissue box nearby.
Too. That was part of that pivot.
And that was sad. Even hearing Aiyuk talk about it was, it's tough. Hearing all the guys at different points, they've been asked about it and they've talked about it. It's just so hard and gut wrenching to even hear them talk about it. And they experienced it. They lived it. So anyway, of course I'm going to be watching next week. And
we can have a watch party.
We should have a watch party. Should we do a watch party?
Absolutely.
Like, how would that work?
I think
we'll figure it out. We'll talk.
That's better than rating the sparkling water, which, by the way, was pretty good.
Whoa. Whoa. Why is my series catching strays?
I love the taste testing. It's great.
Okay.
I love it. I'm gonna go.
Felt like that was an indirect shot at my taste. Although I obviously, shots fired. Yes, Britt loves the ratings. Thank you, Britt. Desi has an issue with them apparently.
Not at all. I had to fire back after she talked about the tux and the hat. She said that was a no-go. I think it's a good look.
Yeah, that's true. We've been going at each other. this episode just a little bit. But it's wacky. It's Wacky Wednesday. Yeah, we should talk about a watch party. I think people would definitely like that. Me and Desi will talk offline, as we would say at work. And we'll sync up on it. We'll put a pin on it, and yeah, we'll circle back. So we'll find a way to make it happen, because yeah, I believe when they say it drops July 10th, I believe that means midnight, like it's out. I'm not saying midnight we're doing a watch party, but it'll I'm just saying, like, it'll be available for us to watch as soon as like that day. So we'll figure it out. Keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys know when we go live. Make sure you like this video if you haven't yet. Really appreciate it. I asked you last week, Desi, what you were doing for 4th of July, and I already forgot because like I just have the memory of a goldfish. So what are you doing this weekend? Was it nothing? Is that why I forgot?
Yeah, my husband's taking my son to Atlanta for regionals for his track and field competition. So I will be flying solo. My oldest one probably doesn't want to hang with mom. He's going to be probably hanging with his girlfriend and his friends. So it's my first solo 4th of July in a couple of decades. So I might turn up. I don't know. We'll see.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember because I was like, it's time for a Desi Palooza. That's what I told you. I was like, that's the exact words I use. Desi Palooza. Yeah, absolutely. Have a great time. Maybe, do a sparkler or something. I don't know. Watch other people's fireworks around the city.
How about you? What are you doing?
Going to the Bay Area to visit my family. Not visiting the 49ers, don't worry. Nothing in the works there. But yeah, just gonna catch a fireworks show out there, because out here in Denver it's pretty dry. They do fireworks shows, but not that many because of the fire risk out here. So I'm excited to see.
There's a lot in California too, right?
Fireworks shows?
Fires. Like, I just don't know.
I mean, there is, but because it's more humid, it's not as dry over there, so there's less firework risk. Yeah, and yes, I am in Denver. Lived here for 3 years now, so. But yeah, guys, appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome in the live chat here. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. All the audio listeners as well. Really appreciate all of you. Make sure you stay safe out there. Be careful with the sparklers, right? Those could be a little dangerous. So be safe. Use those Ubers and Lyfts. All right. Don't be crazy out there. And I'll talk to you guys on Monday. All right. But for now, have a good rest of your Wednesday and long weekend, guys. Peace.